So how important is it to be able to connect with other people? Well, it can mean the difference between success and failure. It can mean the difference between advancing in your career or remaining stuck. Jay Hall of the consulting firm Telemetrics did a study of 16,000 executives. And the most interesting finding he got out of that is he found that there was a direct correlation between achievement and the ability to care for and communicate with other people. So connecting is essential to our success and to our service. And connecting makes a difference in the lives of those we connect with. And it's something that everyone desires. The server at your favorite restaurant, the shuttle bus driver who takes you to the airport, your boss, your employees, your customers, your family, your friends, the person sitting next to you right now. See, like a parched man in the desert tries to get the last drop of water out of a canteen, people are desperately seeking connections with other people. And your willingness and openness to connect and your skill at connecting with them can make all the difference in the world to them and to you. Communication is essential, but connecting is critical. Now, as I said, I wanted to share with you today 5 principles of connecting that, if you learn and apply them in your lives, can help you be a better connector on a regular basis. And the 5 principles that John shares in his book is that connecting increases our influence. Connecting is all about others. Connecting goes beyond just words. Connecting always requires energy, and connecting is more skill than natural talent. Now let's take a look at those one at a time. First, that connecting increases our influence in every situation. Think about how much better things would be if you were connecting with other people. How much better would your customer relations be? How much better would your employee relations be? Your family relations, relationships within your community or within your church. How much would connecting impact your ability to advance within your career? Well, as a matter of fact, in the Harvard Business Review, they did a study and determined that the #1 criteria for advancement is the ability to communicate effectively on all levels. And what does communicating effectively depend upon? Connecting with people. It turns out that connecting is also crucial for leaders. As I mentioned, I'm a member of the John Maxwell team of certified leadership coaches. And the mantra that we always use is that everything rises and falls on leadership. Well, it turns out that the best leaders are also the best connectors. And let's take, for example, our U.S. presidents. Ignoring the politics of it for now, U.S. presidential historian Robert Dallard has identified 5 characteristics that allow a president to be highly effective in that role. And those 5 characteristics are: they have vision, pragmatism, consensus building, charisma, and trustworthiness. And communication expert John Baldoni points out that 4 of those 5 characteristics depend on communicating on all levels. And again, what does communicating depend upon? Connecting. So once you understand that connecting increases your influence in all situations, that leads you into our next point, which is that connecting is all about others. Have you ever listened to a sales pitch that just seems to drone on and on? It especially seems to happen in telephone sales. You'll get a telephone call and you can actually hear them reading the script. Right? And if you interrupt with a question or a comment, they pause for a few seconds, find their place in the script again, and then they go on. Right? It's all about finishing their script. It's all about that agenda. They're not interested in anything you have to say about it other than I'll buy 5. But let's not just pick on sales. Let's pick on ourselves. A few years ago, I worked for a large company, and I had an opportunity to take the lead in a major project. But first, I had to do a presentation before a panel of managers who were going to select the project leader. So I took time to put my presentation together, and I carefully put down all my points and elaborated on them. I created nice, colorful graphs because we know how that impresses managers, right? When I got time to do the presentation, I focused entirely on making sure I got my points across, making sure I covered everything. I paid very little attention to what was going on with my audience. I paid very little attention to the mindset of the audience before me. Well, you may be able to guess what happened. I managed to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. I found out later they were actually all ready to back me for the project until I stepped in there and demonstrated I had no interest in what they had to say about it other than yes. Zig Ziglar said many, many years ago, and it's still very prevalent today and applies directly to our principles of connecting. He said, you can have anything in life you want if you will help enough other people get what they want. How are you going to do that if you don't connect with them? How will you know what they want if you haven't made a connection with them? So know this. In order to connect with people, you have to focus on others.